Nselmulkom u nittamaw li s-sena bdejnija tajjeb minkejja dak kollu li jemmet tiġu madwarna, dejjem żommu f'moħħkom illi wejdu illi minkejja dat tarbit dinji li qed għaddej, żommu qalbkom u moħħkom fil-paċi għax dik l-iktar ħaġa importanti. Jiena nagħtikom merħba u nistedinkom għal programm ieħor wow fismi u fisem Beverly Rimmer. Nixtieq ngħidilkom, nixtieq nselmilkom minn hawnhekk u wara ammont enormi ta' emails, ta' telefonati, ta' Facebook messages li rċevejna, illum se nkomplu fuq il-programm illi bdejna bih il-ġimgħa li għaddiet ta' detoxification tal-ġisem, kif nistgħu issa wara dal-festi ta' ħafna ikel, ħafna ħelu żejjed u l-enerġija tibda tbatti u aħna għandna bżonn enerġija li nżommu ħajja, allura illum se nkomplu nagħtu naqra iktar informazzjoni importanti u dejjem jekk intom se tħarsu fuq tfittxu fuq www.wavesofwellness.life hemmhekk fejn intom tistgħu taraw id-dettalji kollha illi toffri Beverly fis-sistema tagħha, kif ukoll tmorru fuq Facebook Waves of Wellness Warriors. Hemmhekk kull nhar ta' Ħadd wara l-programm ta' nhar ta' Ħadd ir-repeat, Beverly wara dak il-programm tagħmel ukoll intervent dirett fuq Facebook għal dawk minnkom li jkunu jridu wkoll jistaqsu xi affarijiet personali. Iva sfortunatament il-medja illi jrid ikollkom internet, illa li xinkella hija diffiċli li wieħed jikkomunika oltre t-television. Mela, nibdew mill-ewwel u se nibda. Hello Beverly, it's nice to see you again. I am telling everybody, you know, that it's so beautiful to get the feedback that we are getting. Yeah. It's so good to know that people are so much excited and so much caring about their health, because wellness is something that is everyone's investment, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, yeah, everyone's kept me super busy over the past week with sending me messages, which is great. I think, you know, health is the greatest wealth that we have.
That's right.
And too many people in the past, I think, have invested in business, they've invested in pensions, they've invested in so many things like property, and then they end up getting sick. And as you rightfully said, the only thing you take to the grave with you is this body. And so I think the attitude is changing, you know, and people now are more aware that they have to invest in themselves.
That's true.
About 10 years ago, I used to say to people from 40, that's when you need to start investing in health. But now, because of the toxicity and the lifestyle we live, I would say people need to start investing earlier than that. You know, we've really got to invest in our wellness now.
U fil-fatt xi ħaġa li qed tgħid Beverly li definittivament naqblu magħha il-fatt li l-bniedem jinvesta ħafna fuq affarijiet materjali, jinnaf fil-karozza, fil-bini, fil-ħwejjeġ, f'kif nidru. Imma il-verità illi illum iktar minn qatt qabel li għaddejjin minn dil-pandemija, wieħed qiegħed jaraf illi fil-verità li rridu nġorru ninvestu sew fih huwa proprju dan il-ġisem bil-makkinarju kollu illi fih. Illa għaliex il-ġisem mhux biss dak li niklu, iżda huwa wkoll il-mod ta' kif naħsbu, x'emozzjonijiet qed inħossu, il-mod ta' kif niffaċċjaw l-affarijiet, imma l-ewwel ħaġa li rridu nibdew biha hija proprju l-element fiżiku. Għaliex jekk aħna maħniex f'element fiżiku tajjeb, l-istat mentali tagħna mhux se jkun qiegħed sew. Allura tatna il-frażi sabiħa illi qaltilna illi fil-fatt health is the greatest wealth. Is-saħħa hija l-iktar ħaġa sinjura, l-iktar ħaġa li rridu nagħmlu investiment fiha jekk aħna rridu ngħaddu ħajja illi fil-verità tħallina sani, tħallina nikkonċentraw eżattament fuq dak li aħna qegħdin nagħmlu. Issa għaddejna minn dal-festi, ħafna minna kellhom momenti sbieħ, ħafna minna kellhom iġeddu momenti naqra waħda mhux daqstant sbieħ, u kollox affettwa lill-bniedem. Kollox. Mela, illum ħankomplu nitkellmu naqra fuq kif nistgħu natfu l-ewwel nett minn ġewwa għaliex malli nibdew inħossuna tajjeb fiżikament, immedjatament, pum, issa tinxtel bozza f'moħħna u dak illi aħna nħossu li huwa tajjeb jaffettwa wkoll emozjonalment. So Bev, I am commenting on the fact that it's very important that we keep in mind that unless the body is physically okay, you know, that will definitely affect what goes on mentally and emotionally.
Absolutely.
So this is why we need to elaborate a little bit. That which we were saying last time, and maybe today we can round up why we are emphasizing so much on the importance of detoxification.
I think I've had a lot of questions messaged to me, particularly on Facebook, by watchers of the program, which is great. The two main questions I've been asked is, how do I detox? And how do I know if I need to detox? And I think both are really very important questions. So what I'm going to do is, the first question I'm going to answer today is, how do I know? All right, so I'm going to bring up slide 1, which is got a list of things that I think is really important for people to look at. So if you're not sure if you need to detox or not, from what we've spoken about on the previous shows, have a quick look at this list. You know, we're talking about running out of energy, particularly in the afternoon, from 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The inability to lose weight as well, you know, it's a big problem for a lot of people. Mood swings, anger, anxiety, as you just mentioned. You know, if there's something wrong with the body and it's toxic, our thoughts are toxic as well, you know. Chemical sensitivities, bloating, gas, headaches, brain fog, aches, pains. I mean, you can go through the whole list. I mean, easily bruised. So many people contact me in the course of a month thinking there's something very wrong with them because they're bruising all the time without knowing how. Stools, you know, bowel motions getting paler and paler in colour. Urine getting darker and darker in colour. Itchy skin. Digestive issues we've covered. Constipation. Sinus issues, and that is particularly prolific at the moment. Chronic fatigue. And I think the biggest one is sleep. You know, so if you're not sleeping, there's something wrong, you know.
Of course.
And we need sleep. It's when we regenerate. So if we're not sleeping well, we're not regenerating, and it's adding to this incessant cycle. So if you've got 2 or more of those signs, for sure, you're needing a detox.
Okay.
You know?
Mela, issa ngħidilkom għalfejn qed nidħaq jiena. Right, mela dal-li qed tgħidilna Beverly tellatilna din l-slide fejn qed għandna l-ammont ta' sintomi li juruna li għandna bżonn detoxification. Fosthom huwa li ma jkollniex enerġija, ma nistgħux nitilfu l-peace, ikonna mood swings, jiġifieri daqqa nirrabjaw f'daqqa l xejn, jew inkella ikonna ansjetà kbira. Chemical sensitivity li hija r-riżultat ta' dan, illi nħossuna isna minn fuħin jew b'ħafna gas, illi konna kultant dawk l ġieħ ta' rażijiet, ma niffukawx tajjeb u ġieħ fil-fladam jew inkella fil-muskoli, il-nifs jew il-ġisem isu jarmi ċerta rieħa, ikonna spots differenti fuq il-ġisem li juru li jkunu isom nemex kannella, jien għandi prova kbira ta' di issa nrijilkom. Mela, għandna nies li jista' jkollhom ukoll tip ta' suffejra, jew kella il-ġilda u l-għajnej jieħdu qishom kulur naqra safrani. Hemm min ħafna illi fil-fatt qed jitkellmu fuqha illi għal kull ħaġa ta' xejn ishom jinstelħu. U dik hija wkoll waħda mis-sintomi. Il-fatt li pereżempju meta nippurgaw, nippurgaw ikun ċar ħafna, jew il-pipi tkun skura ħafna, illi hawn nies illi jagħtihom ħakk jew ikollhom ħafna ekni dażminijiet meta jkollhom bżonn detox, u ġieħ li jista' jkun fl-istonku, jew inkella li nħossuna konstipati, ma illi kell ma jgħaddix tajjeb. Is-sajnus li ma nafux għaliex ikonna kultant joħroġ dawn is-sintomi. Ħafna ejja, jew inkella l-ar li il-bniedem ma jkunx jista' jorqod biżejjed. U hawnhekk aħna huwa importanti l-aħħar waħda speċjalment illi nifhmu illi jekk il-ġisem ma jistrax biżejjed, mhuwiex qiegħed jiġġenera biżejjed enerġija, da bħal meta għandek magna ta' karozza, hekk ma tiex il-petrol, inutli tqabbad iċ-ċavetta biex taqbad il-magna, għaliex għandha bżonn il-petrol biex tħaddimha. Issa aħna il-xogħol biex inħadem tajjeb dan il-ġisem, il-petrol tagħna huwa l-irqad. Li nkunu qegħdin nieħdu irqad kif għandu jkun. Mhux li nkunu fis-sodda għal żmien twil, li norqdu tajjeb. Issa, mela l-ewwel għalfejn bdejt nitħaq naqra jien. Għaliex, so Bev, now I couldn't stop smiling, you know why? Because I personally have to admit that there are 3 symptoms in the list, you know, from that which you are stating. So, one of them is that really and truly over the holidays, I seem to be having more aches and pains in the joints and the muscles. This is very strange, which I very rarely had. You know, like muscle pain in this area.
Yeah.
Very strange. U meta niġu għall-spots, jekk tħarsu naqra lej idejja, għandna biżejjed, you know, jew inkella naqra lej wiċċi. Issa ma nitkellmux fuq l-età, għax dik hija biċċa xogħol oħra. So according to you, age shouldn't be a problem with the spots, is it? So I should not be having these spots.
No.
So please explain, because I need to understand this, and why do we get, like, could it really be that, yes, so I have been as much as possible following what you have been advising.
Good.
I have to admit, I have been a little naughty as well, because how can you possibly have all that food over the holidays and the good sweets, you know, and I keep on saying, no, just a little bit, you know, but just a little bit. But I suppose, could that also have a, you know, it tells on the body?
There's a limit, isn't there? So it's like filling a bucket. So if you were sort of 90% already toxic, and in a short period of time, you've really gone overboard, you've taken it over the limit. And that's why the muscles start aching. We start to feel very, very tired. You know, these spots that we start to see on our body, a lot of people will say to me, you know, well, I'm 60 or I'm 65, 70, so it's normal. It's not normal. They're called liver spots for a reason, because that's an indicator. Your body is communicating with you that the liver needs cleaned. That's why they're called liver spots.
even though, I'm trying to find an excuse, please tell me that there could be some other excuse.
No.
Even though you come from a family with a lot of freckles.
Well, freckles are different to liver spots. You know, generally freckles are there and they just develop with you. And when nothing was there and all of a sudden, you know, it starts to appear, then your body is communicating.
So I'm 50-50 there.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I'm 50-50, but not on the face.
Yeah.
That is a no-no.
We start to remove them quite quickly. And it's amazing. I think it was the 3rd detox I had done myself personally when I started to see them fading, really fading. And now I think I've got 1 on my hand now. Yeah, 1 on this side. And I had quite a few patches, and I was getting patches on the side of my face. And that was in my sort of early 30s. And so after my 3rd liver flush, they started to almost be not noticeable at all, you know. But yeah, so those signs are there for you.
So there's no excuse.
The second question.
You're a hard one, huh?
The second thing you mentioned about eating all of this bad food, you know, it's what you put in front of you. This Christmas, we ate well in my house, and we ate chocolates we could eat, that were dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, and they tasted great. You know, we didn't have any gluten or dairy or sugar at all. So it is doable when you know how, you know.
Yes.
Question number 2, how do I do this? You know, I think that's really important. And I think for most people, it just seems overwhelming, doesn't it? Okay, so you've told me why I need to detox. I've identified I clearly do need to detox, but how do I do it? All right. And so we're going to bring up slide 2 because I think it's important to remind people these are the organs that naturally cleanse you. All right. This is what you were born with, that is inside of you, that are there to specifically cleanse you. So have a look at those.
All right. So, mela jena provajt nara, nsaqsi lil-Beverly, x'inhi r-raġuni illi minn dik il-lista li tatna qabel, jien pereżempju tlieta minnhom il-qattom. Il-għaliex. Għaliex waħda minn dawk illi over dan il-miliet, għal xi raġuni bdew jiġawni żjed il-joints u il-muscles li jistramba konni ma dal-muscle għax qed juġani. U provajt nara jekk hemm xi raġuni li forsi tista' tiskużani minnha, imma m'hemmx ħniena magħha. Għalt li le dik hija għaliex inti għandek bżonn detoxification. Oħra wkoll li semmejt hija kif nafu ħafna minna għandna dawn id-dbajja kultant. Jiena ġeja minn familja li għandhom ħafna nemix. Ġifieri parti minna għattajd li tatni naqra raċ ta' dawn. Illi jista' jkun illi dawk imbagħad iva jkunu effett tagħhom. Però pereżempju fil-wirċ qatt ma kelli, issa jekk jien għandi dawn l-ispots li qed jidhru staqsejta, imma jekk inti taqbeż ċerta tajjeb, jekk tis-60, allura da jfisser le. M'hemmx ħniena ħbieb. Ġifieri dik qed tfisser illi l-fwiet qed jgħidilna ħoj, hemm xi ħaġa li għandek bżonn tieħu ħsieb. Issa, mela, dinna hija xi ħaġa rridu nħarsu naqra waħda liha. U waħda mill-affarijiet illi huwa tajjeb inkunu nafu illi tellatilna din is-slide fejn qed tgħidilna li huma l-organi illi jieħdu ħsieb li jnattfuna mill-imbarazz mit-toxins li konna ġewwa. U fosthom ovvjament għandna l-fwiet, għandna l-lymph nodes, għandna il-kolon, għandna il-pulmun, għandna il-kliwi, id-dem u wkoll il-ġilda, għax il-ġilda hija l-ikbar organu li għandu l-ġisem. Il-ġilda ma rridux ninsewha illi. So I am explaining that the skin is actually the largest organ that we have in the body, and it's interesting to understand how does the skin cleanse you. So, for example, because I can understand about the lymphatic system, about the blood, even the blood. Doesn't the blood take in, and then how does it eliminate it?
It eliminates through the kidneys. So the kidneys clean the blood. The skin, sweating, you know. So sweat, when we're sweating, it's our impurities filtering out of the body. It's very important.
So those people whose body tends to sweat a lot.
Very toxic.
Even
very toxic. You're sweating a lot because your body is doing its job and it's really getting rid of a lot of toxins. And if there is body odor, very powerful, that shows you that you've got more chemical toxins that are actually leaving the body.
But are people sometimes born with bad odor?
Some people can be born with a condition. It's a very specific condition. It's quite rare. But most body odor, powerful body odor, is due to an accumulation of toxins right, in the body. And the body is expelling them through its largest organ, which is the skin.
The skin, all right. Mela, jena staqsejt lil-Beverly wettila fuq dawk li rajna, dawk l-organi li semmit, ovvjament, il-ġilda hija l-ikbar organu li aħna għandna fil-ġisem. Staqsejt għattila allura kif il-ġisem bħala organu kbir, l-ikbar organu jaffettwa li jista' inaddafna u semmit l-araq. U tkellimna wkoll kif għaw ċerti nies li jerqu esaġerat. U l-informazzjoni li qed tagħtina Beverly hu illi dawk in-nies li jerqu ħafna normalment hija indikazzjoni li l-ġisem tagħhom għandu bżonn jitnaddaf ħafna minn ġewwa. Semmejna wkoll li ċerti nies ukoll ibatu minn ċerta rieħa, dik li ngħidula BO jew bad odor. Hemm nies li ġenetikament jitwildu biha, però dik il-kondizzjoni m'hemm nies li jiżviluppawha di. U hemmhekk fejn jekk huma jew aħna nagħtu każ il-mod ta' kif x'qed niklu, kif nistgħu issa nagħmlu din it-detox, hemmhekk imbagħad nibdew naraw li anke dil-kondizzjoni tibda titnaddaf. Se nifqu għal ftit minuti għar-riklami, ibqgħu magħna għax issa se nsiru nafu il-kif. Aħna mhux impoġġu il-problema biss, imma mbagħad irridu ovvjament noffru lil kulħadd is-soluzzjoni ta' x'għandu jsir. Ibqgħu magħna, wow. Mela, erġajna hawnhekk aħna fil-programm Wow, jiena Ġożef Ċappara u Beverly Rimmer, illi llum qegħdin nitkellmu fuq is-suġġett interessantissimu ta' detoxification. Kif nistgħu nitnatfu minn ġewwa, speċjalment meta jkollna dawk is-sintomi li tkellimna fuqhom bħal huwa għejja, bħal huwa ħafna xirraħa differenti fil-ġisem, jew inkella li konna tbajja fil-ġisem li jibdew jidhru minn barra. Ammont kbir fil-slide illi urejna qabel, kellna l-ammont ta' affarijiet ta' sintomi illi jekk intellaw se ta' qabel di jekk jogħġbok. F'din, hawnhekk intom qegħdin taraw l-ammont kbir ta' affarijiet li fil-verità jistaw jaffettmawna. Illi qegħdin ninsemmu ħafna affarijiet bħal nuqqas enerġija, li ma nistgħux inneħħu il-peace, li konna bloating u l-gas, li ma nkunux qed niffukaw ċari u ġieħ fil-muscles, fil-joints, dal-brown spots illi semmejnihom, illi nippurgaw ċar jew inkella illi l-pipi tkun naqra skura ħafna, ikonna ħakk għal xejn, jew ikonna wkoll nuqqas ta' diġestjoni tajba, kostipazzjoni, chronic fatigue ma nistgħux noqogħdu tajjeb. U dawn huma kollha sintomi illi lilna qed jgħidulna hello u minn hemm l-aħwa il għaliex għandkom bżonn titnatfu naqra minn ġewwa. So, now issa se niġu biex se nsaqsi lil Beverly biex tgħidilna x'għandna nagħmlu. Kif se nibdew dit-detoxification? Meta għandna l-ġilda u għandna ħafna sweating, fil-bidu kienet semmit il-body brushing. Am I correct in mentioning this? So can you take this further now, please?
Well, the reason I started the season of the TV show with body brushing was it is the biggest organ and we do need to detox it every day. You know, we've got to keep it moving through. Yeah, so why do these organs that are designed to clean us, why do they malfunction? You know, they malfunction for so many reasons. And we've talked in the previous episodes about what we would experience when they malfunction. And so all of you have gone through, we've talked about the gut, we've talked about the liver, the kidneys, the colon. What I would like to talk about now are the benefits for those organs when we clean them. So we can actually see how they improve, you know. So we know how they malfunction. Let's look at what to expect once you've detoxed them.
Tajjeb, mela sissa qed tgħidilna illi aħna tkellimna fuq x'jiġri mill-ġisem tagħna meta l-organi prinċipali li normalment ingħatfu l-ġisem ma jaħdmux sew. U issa tgħidilna x'se jkunu l-benefiċċji meta fil-verità qegħdin jaħdmu kif suppost. U għaw se tagħtina lista ta' affarijiet illi il-ġisem igawdi minnhom meta ikonna l-organi tal-ġisem qed jaħdmu tajjeb.
So we're going to have a look at a slide now, which, we're going to start with the liver, which is the benefits that you would see from detoxifying the liver. And I think the first one is fat metabolism. We've got good and bad fats in our body. And if they're not metabolized effectively, we either gain weight or we cannot lose weight. It's good to be able to have healthy weight levels. And that's what we get with good liver function. Reduction of blood fats, which you will all know is cholesterol. Now, cholesterol comes in a good and a bad form, and we want it to be balanced. So by detoxification, we start to balance off in the blood the fats. So cholesterol starts to balance out. And blood pressure, we spoke last week about the kidneys, in fact. When they malfunction, it causes blood pressure problems. So when we detoxify them, we start to see a balanced blood pressure. Reduction in headaches, including migraines. Massive amounts of energy, you're abundant in energy. Clearer skin, and again, largest organ. Reduction in liver spots and rashes. Certainly people that suffer from acne, they get incredibly good clean skin after detox. Puffy eyes. A lot of people tell me, that it's genetic. Everyone in their family has puffy eyes. After a detox, they are significantly gone. So clearly, it's not genetic. What is genetic is the lifestyle a particular family has. Reduction in blood sugar. So blood sugars balance off. Immune system improves. Reduction in allergies. And again, the mind. Moodiness goes away. Brain fog clears. We start to see a huge improvement in digestion. It's the absence of these bloating and gas. So these are some of the improvements that we would see after detoxifying the liver particularly.
Tajjeb, mela, hawnhekk issa qed tgħidilna Beverly fuq wieħed mill-organi maġġuri li huwa l-fwiet. U jekk meta aħna jkollna fwiet li qed jaħdem kif suppost, il-vantaġġi kbar illi jista' jkollna minħabba illi nkunu naddafna l-imbarazz kollu li jista' jkun qiegħed jagħlaq u jinħema ġewwa l-fwiet. U dawn huma l-benefiċċji meta se taraw il-slide illi jmiss, se naraw l-affarijiet illi jiġu affettwati u li mmorru aħjar meta qed tnaddaf il-fwiet. Bħal pereżempju l-metabolizmu jkun aħjar, ikunu kapaċi nitilfu l-weight, il-ħxuna żejda ħafna b'mod aħjar, illi innaqsu il-pressjoni, l-uġijiet ta' ras illi joħdulna ħafna enerġija jiġu eliminati, nkunu iktar b'saħħitna, l-ġilda tkun ħafna aħjar, ma jkollniex dawk il-ħafna brown spots li ngħidulhom ukoll liver spots fil-verità. Min ikollu ħafna ċerti nies ikollhom dawk il-puffy eyes, ħafna minna jkun minna lina li dik ġenetika, imma qed tgħidilna li le li jemmu il-mod, il-lifestyle ta' kif aħna imdorrijin niklu x'niklu illi joħloq dawk il-puffy eyes. Inaqqas ukoll meta jkollna l-fwiet illi jkun nadif, inaqqas il-zokkor, ġifieri l-idea ta' diabete tiġi wkoll ħafna iktar kontrollata, hekk mhux ukoll eliminata, l-immunità tagħna tiżdied, inneħħu l-allerġija, jkun hemm ħafna nuqqas ta' allerġiji u ta' sensittività għal kemikali differenti illi nsibu fl-ikel u f'affarijiet li għandna madwarna, ma jkollniex dawk il-mood swings u jkollna wkoll diġestjoni ħafna ħjar. So, diża qed insemmu organu wieħed illi jirranġa dawn l-affarijiet kollha diġà fil-ġisem. Aħseb wara meta aħna jkollna l-organi l-oħrajn, bħalmu huma l-klieb, bħalmu l-ġilda, bħalmu id-dem, bħalmu l-lymphatic system. Meta dawn kollha se jkollhom effett flimkien minħabba fit-detoxification program li nagħmlu, ara l-ġisem kemm se jieħu tindifa tajba. Isna qed nagħmlu spring cleaning flok tad-dar imma tal-ġisem. So, yeah, you always laugh when I give some of these examples, but it is like that, isn't it?
It is.
It's like spring cleaning because it's not just the liver, So if just the liver is giving us all these benefits, let alone all the other organs working together, being cleansed together,
Yeah.
what an incredible amount of energy and boost the whole system will get.
It's amazing. I mean, if we look at the colon, I do a lot of colon cleanses, as standalone cleanses, but you know, we look at the benefits of colon cleansing alone, and it's worth doing just for that. You know, the digestive system, and we know about everything starts, you know, begins and ends in the gut. Again, energy, the body absorbing vitamins and minerals, that we need them in order to fully function and be our best self. And if we're malabsorbing through leaky gut, you know, then that needs to be rectified. Concentration, nothing worse than brain fog. You know, it just makes the day longer, it makes everything harder. Again, kickstarting weight loss, even if you're just dropping fat cells, you know, you're going to feel better not carrying rancid fat around in your body. Colon cancer, and I think, you know, colon cancer has steadily become one of the leading cancers in the Western world, because we clean our teeth, we clean our skin, we clean our hair, but we don't clean our colon. And so if it's not working well, because digestion's not working well, we're suffering constipation, then obviously we've got a lot of rotting residue of food in there. And this is where cancer cells can begin. So we want to really prevent that. Infertility as well is a massive issue. And acid and alkaline. If we're acid, we get inflammation. Inflammation causes pain. You know, so we want to prevent all of those things. And that's just from cleansing the colon.
Okay, right, mela. Jekk aħna nagħtu s-sadaqqa time, lej il-benefits jekk per eżempju l-kolon, nieħdu l-kolon. Sewa, qed ngħidu illi għandna ħafna mill-benefits l-istess bħal fwiet. Imma mbagħad għandha oħrajn, bħalma huwa pereżempju iżidlek il-konċentrazzjoni. Bħalma pereżempju li l-ġisem jista' jassorbixxi ħafna iktar il-vitamini u nutrienti li għandna bżonn. Illi jgħin ħafna biex nevitaw ir-riskju ta' kanċer fil-kolon. Illum il-ġurnata żdied ħafna sfortunatament dat tip ta' kanċer, u raġuni hija illi aħna neħdu sib naħslu xarna, neħdu sib naħslu l-ġilda, neħdu sib tagħna nfusna, imma jekk aħna qegħdin niklu u l-kolon qed jiġi affettwata b'affarijiet illi dejjem qegħdin jimmuffaw ġewwa, dak imbagħad se jmarrat iċ-ċelluli u hemmhekk fejn jibdew il-problemi l-kbar. Allura dik waħda mill-iktar affarijiet li għandna bżonn nagħmlu. U l-oħra hija pereżempju illi jiżdied ukoll meta aħna qed innatfu l-kolon il-fertilità, li l-bniedem ikun ħafna iktar fertili. Iżid ukoll il-bilanċ ta' dak li huwa aċidu fil-ġisem u dak li huwa alkaline, ġifieri dak illi isaħħaħ u jnaddaf iċ-ċellola mill-imbarazz li jkollha. Iktar ma jkun aċidu, iktar imarrat, iktar jifga iċ-ċellola, allura ikonna ħafna iktar infjammazzjonijiet. U wkoll il-whole well-being tal-ġisem jirranġa. So this is good information. So we are getting a very clear idea now about what happens with, you know, with why we need to do this detoxification. Where do we start from?
Well, I mean, there's many benefits. We've looked at the liver, we've looked at the colon. We're going to look at a whole host of them, and then I think what we can talk about then is the way I do it and the way I'd recommend it.
Great.
You know, if we look at all of the benefits, so we've looked at the liver. The benefits of detoxification are widespread. The liver, the colon, the kidneys, the blood. The next slide really gives you a very good overview, I think, of all of the things to expect when you're doing a whole body detox. So the other slides we looked at were about the liver detox, colon detox, and we could go right through every organ. But the next slide is going to give you a really good overview of whole body detox, and it's the whole body detox that I promote people do at least once a year. You know, we really want to be cleansing that off for the whole year. So it is by far For me, I'd recommend it. If you're going to detox the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, spend 7 days, go in and pull out all of those toxins you have been collecting for at least a year, if not longer, that are just sitting there, you know, inside the body. Improve your sleep, get some energy. And I think particularly in the middle of a pandemic, you want to be doing everything to increase your immune system. You know, and detoxification will do that. Natural immunity is what we're talking about achieving here through detoxification. And everyone has the ability to increase their immune system by removing the toxins they've collected for at least a year, if not longer. Blood sugars, blood pressure, clean that, you know, get all of that out. We spoke about foam on urine, after you urinate. Get rid of it. You know, that's protein there. We don't want it there. Start to absorb your vitamins and your minerals. So again, detoxification. A lot of people do it just to remove inflammation. So I have a lot of people with fibromyalgia that will detoxify every 3 months just to regain less pain, you know, because the inflammation goes down. So there are too many benefits here to not do it.
Right. So għawnek li għattajdinna li għamil ħafna sensu, li jekk inti bnidem se deċidi li għamil detoxification, għax ma tamlix detoxification tal-ġisem, mux tal-liver, mux tal-fwit, mux ta' dak biss, jew tal-kliwi biss. Għalix, għax dan huwa domino effect, pop, 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 pop. Wieħed ma jkunx tajjeb, jaffettwa l-ieħor kollu xi. Mela, u din hija li qed irrakkomandi li jekk aħna rridu nħossuna verament tajbin u jkollna verament enerġija u saħħa għax il-ġisem qed inżommuh verament tajjeb minn ġewwa, importanti li jsir ħalli nevitaw kull tip ta' infjammazzjoni bħal nies li batu mill-fibromyalgia huwa importanti ħafna li jagħmluha kull 3 xhur, imma hemm nies oħra jagħmluha daqshekk spiss. Però hija importanti li niftakru li l-istess kif innatfu dar għandna bżonn natfu dan it-tempju tagħna illi nġorruh il-ħin kollu. Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, you know, doing a whole body detoxification, and we spoke about this last week, is quite, you know, serious. It's not doing organ by organ, it's doing the whole thing. As you quite rightly said, in the domino effect, you know, it's a pulling effect. One of the things I identified last week was I showed the liver that was with liver stones, and most people don't realize where they are. We want to be pulling them out. It's a bit like a cork in a champagne bottle, all right? So you need to take the cork out, and once that's out, it opens up the pathway for everything else. So on slide 6, we can see what the liver looks like packed with stones. So the liver and the gallbladder. We're going to be pulling them out at the end of the week. So we're going to spend 5 days preparing, right? Preparing for this to happen, preparing the body. So we're going to change our diet, change our lifestyle, incorporate far more water, preparing the body for day 6. And on day 6, this will come out. And these can be done with things that are at home in your kitchen. And like we showed last week, if we go on to the next slide, these stones inside the liver look like this when they leave your body.
Yes.
Now, the 7-day
if I
detox.
can stop you a little bit.
Yeah.
So basically, you are talking, yes, you are mentioning, like a 7-day detox.
Yeah.
Okay, mela, għawnek li jissa se tidħol fiha, Beverly, illi għattejt, illi werti taħna illi namlu 7 tiem naħsbu baffarijiet illi għanna d-dar illi nistaw neliminaw jew nikkonsmaw għax jamlunna tajjeb. Namlu dan id-detox għal 7 tiem għalix b'massi ġurnata l-affarijiet illi bdew il-ġim il-ġisem huwa propju din is-slide illi kull darba li nara jien ma nistax nemmen li l-ġisem għandu dal-ammont kbir ta' ġebel. And somebody asked me the other day, what creates these gallbladder stones or liver stones? What creates them?
I mean, build-up of toxicity. You know, they're not supposed to get that size. They're supposed to go through and be passed out in our stools. So you would normally have this, you wouldn't even see them because they'd be passed out very small in stools. When they get bigger and bigger, It's
They create
generally because the body is malabsorbing, you know, and they cause blockages.
All right, mela jena saqsejt, għattilem ma kif jista' jkollok dil-ammont kbir ta' ġebel u daqshekk kbar, għaliex saqsaw li din nies x'iffurma il-ġebel u qed tgħidli li dawn huma it-toxins li qed nitkellmu fuqhom li jiffurmaw ruħhom bil-mod il-mod u dejjem ikollhom iżjed sediment u jsiru propja ġebla. Dak bħal meta għandek it-tajn. Għandek ftit trab u mbagħad jiżdied bil-ma jsir tajn. Mbagħad it-tajn terġa' żid fuq. Sa fl-aħħar u mbagħad isiru blata dawn u jikbru biż-żmien għaliex aħna ma nagħmlux detoxification. So sorry, before that you were going to explain now how it is done. This process of 7 days and you know what one really needs to look into.
Yeah, I mean, it's guided. 7 days, 7 benefits, all right? And that's my focus, and that's what I work with my clients on. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a 7-day detox program. For anyone that's interested, they can, you know, send me an email. I'm going to bring the email up soon, so you can have a look at it. And detox at wavesofwellness.life. So send me a direct email if you're interested in signing up for the 7-day detox week, and we'll send out all of the information. Basically, on the detox week, it's guided by me. So I hold a Zoom meeting every day. People will have the workbook. They'll have an ebook, recipe book, so they know what to eat each day of the week. How we're preparing the body through intermittent fasting. So that's guided as well. And I'm there to answer all the questions every day for 7 days. So nobody is concerned and left alone, you know. People who've never done it before will feel supported. So please, if you are interested, genuinely so, and you want to do something proactive, send me an email at detox@wavesofwellness.life, and I will send you all the information. And if that's something you really want to do, then you can register for the 1 week. Starts on the 25th of January.
Okay, tajjeb. Mela, hawnhekk qed tgħidilna Beverly illi ppjanat kors ta' ġimgħa illi se tagħmlu fuq l-internet m'hemmx tara għaliex dana se jkun Zoom meetings, kors fuq bi-Zoom, jiġifieri u li wieħed għandu jagħmel jekk verament għandkom l-interess illi tridu tagħmlu dawn is-7 ijiem da jkun immexxi kollu kompletament minn Beverly u tkun qed tgħinna u tigwidana jum biex anke jekk għandna problemi, jekk għandna domandi li rridu nagħmlu, jekk għandna issues tagħna personali, tkun tista' tgħinna fihom u hawnhekk se ntellaw fejn għandkom tibatu l-interess tagħkom fuq detox@wavesofwellness.life. U dawk minnkom li huma verament interessati, il-kors jibda fl-25 ta' dan ix-xahar ta' Jannar, ikun għal ġimgħa sħiħa u ikolkom ukoll ktieb li tistgħu e-book li tistgħu tniżlu u taħdmu bihom, etc. So I am giving the information that I have just given out. Now, for the sake of those who might not have this facility, because you do get some people, especially maybe, you know, people who don't even have internet at home. Can you give some recommendation to those people which will help them to start detoxifying somehow, please?
I think what we'll do is we'll produce a slide that explains, and I'll have it produced in English and Maltese, that explains some herbs that you can take and access here. And if you take them week by week by week, you'll start to detoxify different organs. So if you're not going to be facilitated by a detox practitioner, you shouldn't do all of the organs at once. So I think it's good to produce a document we can put up, and then people can take notes at home and then go and buy those herbs and take them 1 week at a time. Okay?
Okay, so mela qed tgħidilna li l-iktar li nistgħu nagħmlu, will that be done in the next program?
Yeah, I think we'll prepare for it and then we can bring it up and we'll go through the herbs with people.
Okay, mela li qed tgħidilna Beverly illi dawk minnkom li m'għandhomx sors ta' internet, mela il-programm li ġej se tagħmel tagħtikom informazzjoni biex kemm jista' jkun tkunu tistgħu taħdmu għaliex meta għandek kors ta' detoxification importanti li tkun fidejn speċjalista bħal Beverly fuq dik li hija nutrition u detoxification. Imma jekk lew trid tagħmlu waħdek id-dar, se tagħtina wkoll ideat ta' kif wieħed jista' juża ċertu herbs li nistgħu insibuhom biex wieħed ikun jista' jagħmel detoxification minn ġimgħa għal ġimgħa ta' organu. Min se jagħmel il-kors ta' 7 ijiem ikun qed jagħmel full flush, jiġifieri se jkun qed jitnaddaf minn dawn l-organi kollha in ġenerali. U dik hija xi ħaġa biex ngħidlek qisu rigal li nistgħu nagħtu lilna nfusna għal bidu tas-sena biex nibdew bidu tas-sena b'saħħitna u iktar fukati f'dak kollu li qegħdin nagħmlu. Aħna nixtieq li kieku nistgħu nibqgħu għaddejjin. Jiena bħas-soltu nixtieq ngħidilkom grazzi tal-interess kbir li qegħdin turuna. Tinsewx dejjem tidħlu fuq Waves of Wellness Warriors Facebook page illi hemmhekk intom wara l-programm tal-ħadd tar-repetizzjoni tal-ħadd ikonna l-Beverly Manek ikolkom xi domandi u għall-informazzjoni illi qed nagħtu dejjem ikollha dejjin huwa fuq www.wavesofwellness.live u hemmhekk ikolkom l-informazzjoni li għandkom bżonn. Sadattant jiena minn hawnhekk fismi Giuseppe Ciapparra fisem Beverly Rimmer nixtieq ngħidilkom grazzi ħafna tas-sapport tagħkom, ngħid dejjem grazzi lil Francis u lil Naomi ta' New You illi dejjem jieħdu ħsieb biex id-derra ta' xahri tkun fl-aqwa illi tista' tkun. Grazzi lilkom kol eżiż. Nittama li minkejja kollox dejjem ftakru li kollox jgħaddi. Kollox jgħaddi. Anka l-ar żminijiet li għaddejna minnhom. Ħarsu lej ħajjitkom blura u għajt għaddejna minn dak ma naddux minn dil-pandemija, naddu eżiż. ħaġa pass, taraw xwis television, xorta se tkunu tafu l-informazzjoni li għandkom bżonn tkunu tafu, ħodu ħsib saħħitkom u nixtieqilkom minn qalbi il-ġimgħa tajba. Saħħa.